What's good? What's good? We back live from Fayettenam. We got Big Kaz next to me. We got Big Face. We got Jones. We got Mr. J. How y'all doing, fellas?
It's good.
Good.
Peace. How y'all living?
Peace.
Everything's lovely.
What up, Face?
What up, Mr. Jones?
Peace, Cass. Good to meet you, man.
Peace, Mr. Jones. Good to meet you
J.
too, man.
T. And
It's
that
good.
guy.
So everybody doing good? Okay. I know Face didn't really want to talk about this topic, but I think hip hop, we got to get into it.
I mean, how the hell this start like this? Here we go.
We got to talk
Face
about
in
it.
trouble
Man.
already. You get talked to before the show.
DVD, Tupac. I mean, you know, it's hip hop.
KPD.
We got to talk about it. Like, what's the reaction to this? Who wants to go first?
I mean, I can't believe it, man. To be honest, because you know, like I said, I've been on the YouTube watching a lot of shit. I've been watching this shit for so many years. I can't believe that they, you know, actually doing that shit. But it's crazy. I mean, you can feel a certain kind of way about it because people might feel a certain kind of way about, you know, niggas going to jail. But you know, some people feel the other way too. You know, one, you know, redemption for his mother and people that lost him and stuff. You know.
You think hip hop needs some closure on this?
I think they already had the closure. I think like I saw an interview where Vlad was talking about how he had closure when the interview went down, and I kind of feel the same way. I think the hip hop culture been watching those videos. You know, people knew, and not only that, people actually most people that was in the know and really tapped in with the streets knew 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is though, KVD had a deal in 2009 where he signed an agreement that he could speak on it.
Okay.
Right. So that's why he came out and started speaking on it, because he has basic immunity from LA that he could speak on these podcasts about it. That's gonna be an issue coming on this trial, man.
I think the reason he's speaking about it is because the guy Greg Caden kind of fucked him over by, like, you know, he recorded the key when he recorded the proper and then, you know, kind of put it out. You know, that was a real dangerous thing for him to do. You know, people could have got who knows, people may have got hit behind that.
But he signed the deal. I mean, on the Biggie shit. They wanted him to sit down and talk. Anyway,
but nobody would have really knew if that tape was recorded. I remember when that tape first came out, a lot of people didn't even believe that was a real tape. You know.
Yep.
So at that point, I think that's what made him be like, "Fuck it, it's out there now. I might as well put out a fucking."
Well, he wrote a book. Wrote a book too.
Wrote a book.
Keefe wrote a book. Said he placed himself in the vehicle.
That's crazy.
So I mean, there that went.
Jones, Jay, what y'all think?
Well, the whole thing is, like you said, he wrote a book about it. He's been online about it. He's been, talking to everybody and their mom about it. It's kind of like, what are you going to do? You didn't expect this to happen. I mean, yeah, they gave him the deal in LA, but I believe he's getting prosecuted in Vegas. So, that's two different jurisdictions.
Yeah. I mean, true, but they usually uphold what one's made. We'll see how that go down. Is what I'm saying, though. I feel like
if it's federal, they might have to.
I feel like they may. There's something else must be happening. They're trying to give us Tupac's murder to keep us over here watching it. I don't know what the hell.
I want to know why that. Now I want to know why they keep talking about Diddy. Like, there's so much talk about Diddy.
Oh yes, they about to throw Diddy to the wolves. You
and
they
even asked the investigator.
They've been setting them up for 2 years.
Is that who they really looking for?
2 years.
So why are they really looking for him?
They have changed this man's whole perception online, right? Yeah. They have sullied this man. When you see him, you think, is this dude an undercover pedophile? Stealing people's royalties and whatnot. And this is what they built you to, with no evidence, just kind of, passive aggressive hearsay type shit. Yeah. He next.
Jones, what were you about to say though?
I was feeling a part of what Kaz was saying in relation to you saying about closure, because it's like, despite everything else, despite all the entertainment and stuff, you know what I'm saying? This cat's mother she done bounced. She done passed away. This cat got real live family. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's about closure for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's like this whole shit is wild. It's like this shit been playing in front of us day after day, after DVDs from the flea market to investigation discovery to the big screen.
Oh, they done made their money with these two deaths for sure.
Oh my goodness,
they made
man!
billions of dollars off the back of these two deaths. For
and
sure.
I don't think it's going to stop, man. We're going to be looking for the thing on Keefe D Lifetime joint coming up next, you know. But
yeah. The
I just hope that
Discovery coming out. The show coming out.
If they really trying to put a cap on it, then put a cap on it, you know. But you know, we in some different days now.
Yeah, to this point about Diddy, you know, they knew that Diddy hired Crips as security. And the rumor was, you know, he didn't pay certain people after he got to a certain level. So he got different security and things of that nature. So people were already kind of speculating that this was kind of a payback for that, to put him in the middle of it.
The Biggie thing, yeah. Well, Keefe, and also Keefe D claims on record that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge and Tupac, but he never received a deposit. I mean, he's on record saying that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people on record saying that the money did show up, but just didn't show up to Keefe D, but the money was. The check was cut. That's what I'm saying. We know so much about all of this shit.
Right.
You know, we know, I mean, that's why I love the podcast era, like people being able to like tell their story and tell what really happens. I think we've been had closure because I mean we've all seen the Art of the Dialogue, we've all seen that Cam Capone, and we've heard the story, we've had the closure. But right now, what we witnessing now with the arrest, that's just wild shit. Yeah. That's just a sample of 2024. You know, like when the gorilla had died that 1 year, you knew what was coming. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Harambe, bitches, Harambe. Ain't no that gorilla. The goddamn Harambe, motherfucker.
So where does it go then if, say, let's just follow me. Say it comes out that Diddy is involved. I mean, what's the reaction then?
I mean, if you follow the story like you
go to jail.
He is involved, but not to the point where he would actually get indicted.
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, people already know what time it is. Like I said, not only do people know what time it is, people who tapped in knew 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just some crazy shit that we watching. Like, I really want to see, like, is Keefe D gonna get convicted? I really want to see, like, I was so tripped out when I watched TMZ and I saw Suge saying all that shit. Suge was just saying like, yo, that's my man, Keefe D. I fuck with him.
Yeah.
You know?
really quick too. How about this, Cass? I'm glad you said that, Cass. What do you think about Suge coming out like in the last 2 days saying he should be released? He served 9 years. He's saying due to technicalities in his case that he should be released, and they're allowing it to go forward, so he may be released early. Suge could be out in the next few months.
I say free Suge, and I ain't no.
He done 9 years for running them up like over.
Nobody that Suge harmed. I'm just saying I don't want nobody to be like.
He did 9 years. He ran them up like over. He should be out. I mean, these motherfuckers that did longer time for worse shit. I mean, lesser time for worse shit. Yeah.
I've been hit by a car, so I'm gonna be a little prejudiced towards that.
I might hit you with a car. Don't think 9 years would be good enough. If
right,
you sorry.
Not intentional, man.
I'm not nowhere near the same person.
But Suge is just known. He has a history of notorious things.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You saying he need to get out, but that's California. Like, Suge is way beyond California standards of a nigga spending his life in prison. So I don't know.
Yeah. Do we need to hear more
info
on like the Biggie murder?
Huh?
You think we need more info on the Biggie murder?
I think we pretty much know that
too.
We haven't heard like those people that's involved in that really sit down and like get on like podcasts and stuff. But I'm pretty sure that's coming. But I mean, we pretty much know the storyline and the sketch of that too. You know, it goes 2 or 3 different ways, but you know. What
now, what about like they said LAPD was involved?
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's what I wondered too when we was talking about why is this happening.
Yeah,
I wonder about that too.
What's going on over there that they trying to get you over here? They could be internally having some issues. There could be a big time. You know, LAPD is the most corrupt probably police organization in the world.
LAPD is involved in all of this.
Come on,
crazy.
They gang unit, they all that, the ramrod, all that. We all know the history behind that. I am more interested in Biggie than I honestly than Pop. Or I'm an East Coast cat, but I mean that seems to be, to me, it was really retaliatory. I mean, I don't really know why Pop beat somebody the fuck down an hour before that. They jumped someone.
Yeah.
And that could have been that, man, as far as I'm concerned.
I always said that.
But
I felt
Biggie
like
was
Big
murdered,
died
bro.
because of
Straight on some.
A contract kid, yeah.
Yes.
And do we feel like Big should have listened to people and not go to the West Coast?
Yes, of course he should have, but he ain't want to do that.
Yeah, man. You gotta
I mean, I get that. Okay, yeah.
With his stance, I could be scared.
You got to know.
You
He had
can't
a
be
show
dumb,
book
but you
out
can't
there,
be
right?
dumb either.
He had a show book out there, right?
Nah, I think he was just out there.
He was just out there.
So
killing the women, doing the weed.
I mean,
the streets, you know?
And the fact that they knew where he was moving is
I
really
hate
sketchy.
that this cat has to hear this a
Because he
lot.
wasn't doing the show. He's just out there chilling.
I mean, even back, it's a lot easier to keep in contact with people now, but it was even back then.
Yeah.
I mean, think all if you go through and listen to all them stories of Suge Knight, as far as like Vanilla Ice, Michelle A, all of them saying the same story. This nigga Suge was everywhere we was at, and we did not know how he was finding us. So I mean, even back then it was going on, you know.
Yeah. But see, people who are gang related out there, you know what I'm saying, you don't know who they know. Their cousins could work for the hotel. Their auntie could work for, car services. You know what I'm saying? If they want to get in touch with you, if they want to touch you, you find out pretty quick.
Well, same in the Ville. If you come in the Ville, I know where you're at in 15 minutes. If a celebrity comes to the Ville, right? Because we tapped in. If you tapped in, you tapped in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do we need to say anything more about Pocket Big? Because I had another topic I was going to bring up. All right, let's go with this one. Who are the top 5 rappers from the 80s?
From the 80s.
I'm going to let Joe start this off.
No, I'm not starting that off.
He's the 80s guy.
I'm not starting that off, man.
Because, man, you've been missing in action, man. You've been missing in action, man.
I mean, it's going to be a personal list. I want to, can we preface this? I'm going to go back to you, Jones. I'm going to preface this by saying this is about to be a personal list. So I don't care what I don't expect nobody to have my list, but go ahead, Jones.
Damn, go ahead.
Come on, bro. That's what you're here for.
And the shit's it's a mixed bag, man. But I mean, just off my main listening, I'm going with Rakim. I'm going with Public Enemy. I'm going with shit, man. I mean, throwing Heavy D up in there. I'm not even throwing Heavy D. I'm throwing Heavy D up in there. I'm throwing Boogie Down Productions in there. Man, there's so many others. I don't like 5s, man. My list goes sideways. I don't go. Damn, man. My shit be in a damn circle.
You ain't got to explain. You got it, Joe. Say your thing.
That was 4, 5, 80s.
2 of them were technically groups.
Well, I'll go real quick. I'm gonna say definitely in no particular order. Rakim,
Run DMC. My bad.
Guru, Rakim, Guru.
Said 80s.
Yeah, Guru was the 80s. Guru, they debuted in the
80s.
I wouldn't say Guru was one of the best rappers in the 80s.
No.
He only had like one album.
It's his list.
LL Cool J, Rakim.
Rakim has to be in, I think.
Big Daddy Kane. Strictly 80s. I mean, we're going 80s here. KRS-One. The 5th. I don't know, man. I thought Special Ed was mad nice, but he didn't do a whole lot.
He
only did one album, but he was.
No, he did two.
Okay, well, the second one was not as great as the first.
He's not too fond of Fayettenam.
We got his ass beat in Vietnam. Let's be real.
He's not too much fond of Fayettenam.
I ain't never really heard that. I ain't never heard that.
What? You heard that? So
I remember hearing that one.
The story is in the late 80s, or the mid 80s, when he dropped his first album, he came and did a show at the Cumberland County Civic Center. And he talked mad shit to some boys from the Merc and Shaw Road in the front row during the show. And he stopped on a store. I don't know which side. I think it was on the Bragg Boulevard area or whatever. Stopped at a local store and was jumped and robbed and got his ass beat after the show.
And I also heard that they chased him down the boulevard.
Yeah. So I mean, this is corroborated by a lot of old heads that seen it. That was real. He never came back, by the way. But I wouldn't go talking shit on the Shaw and Merc boys on stage neither. But
I don't get why artists would do that anywhere they go. Like
you think about it.
They buy tickets.
All right, guys. This is the mid '80s. He from New York. He come down here in Fayetteville, no kind. He never heard this place. He think he in Podunk, Fuquay Arena. As far he thought, how many times you been stepped through in the Ville and somebody said, "I'm from New York." Like that's gonna stop you from doing something. But
he probably was drunk as fuck. He will be drunk and tripping and saying stupid shit.
I definitely got my ass beat talking shit drunk for sure.
So you will put Special Ed top 80s rapper, okay?
Well, no, that's my number 5 because if you gave me some more time to think, I'd probably come up with something else. But definitely KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and
three of my
who's my
five.
I took
LL,
Guru
I
out.
was about to say LL.
LL, that's right. LL.
And I don't know, man. Might have to go with Run.
Run.
Might have to go with Run. Not Run DMC, but Run.
Nah, DMC got him, man.
DMC don't got Run.
Yeah, he do.
No, he don't.
He do. All right. Go ahead. Go. Imagine the whole album of Run.
DMC had the better voice.
Well,
Run had the better verses.
Run had a verse on
they go together, man.
Run had a verse on a Flesh and Bone joint. He kind of killed that one on the Flesh and Bone joint.
Rapping fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came. That was later on, man. Like Down with the Kings, he came with that.
Oh yeah, he came with a fast one.
Yeah, he changed his style up.
I remember on that they did a song like 5 Bros to Death. He was rapping fast like that.
Smiggity smack daddy.
That Get Down with the King is my fucking shit.
Hey,
man.
Yeah, that's
you know
my joint.
why? Why? Because CL's verse.
Yeah.
Down with the King.
All
is about
that is the only reason for
the back of the mic and make a man of him. Tears. Run killed that when he said tears of fears with my fears. They rip it. Think that it is. It is. I mean, that was a great song.
Is that a Pete Rock beat?
Yes.
Yes, it's a Pete Rock beat.
All day long.
I saw them.
Pete Rock and Premier ruled the whole 80s and early 90s. Pete Rock and Premier.
Yeah.
I saw them do that and at the Cumberland County Civic Center. It was the 1993 tour. And even though it was Naughty's tour, Naughty went on second before last. They let Run DMC close out the show.
Of course.
Like that was
That's how you do
man. Yeah, that was respectful too.
Now Run and DMC definitely would have been the headliners. I mean, with me, to be honest, it's a little tiny bit before my time. You know, I was born in '83.
Word.
But all of those people y'all talk about is crazy to me because I'm a student of hip hop. I would say you definitely, like you said, you have to put
Rakim.
Well, not Rakim. You definitely Rakim. But it was somebody that definitely all of them. Probably the biggest ones that had an effect on me was Rakim, G-Rap. Heavy D was so crazy.
I loved Heavy D. That Blue Funk album.
By
the way, why are we talking about the Heavy D? The Blue Funk album is slept on. That whole album is dope.
This is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say for the same reason that you have to mention Rakim because Rakim changed it so much. Grandmaster Flash and them they changed it so much, like as far as like from going from the hip to the hop
the commentary,
like the real early cats.
No doubt. Yeah, I give them the
and Houdini, like man.
I was too young. I was 13 in '89. So Cool J definitely KRS-One and all those. I was Rakim. I was right there. They was releasing.
That's 89. That's the ill era.
Me,
when I was 13 was like 94, 95. So
word.
You know what I'm saying? So that
was my senior
also,
year.
Though, I was into LOG back then, and also another dude who was Ill Street Blues, my man. What am I missing?
That's Cool G Rap. Ill Street Blues.
And he was
G Rap and Polo.
Into late 80s, he came out rapping.
And Kane, G Rap and Kane is probably, like I said, they changed it. G Rap, Kane, Rakim. They just brought it to a different levels. You know what I'm saying? For the 80s.
The whole Juice crew was like the dream team back then. You had Craig G too.
That's right.
And I mean, MC Shan, I wasn't really a super big fan of him, but he was popping in the 80s.
But what he's saying is like Rakim changed the rhyme patterns to rhyming more intricately, like 3 of the last syllables. And then you had Kane, who changed the way metaphors were used. You know what I'm saying? He was dope with the similes and that whole, honestly, the first Cool J, who's still successfully doing it with the transition from a 16-year-old kid to a sex symbol and all this. You know what I'm saying?
And lyrically, it's crazy. Cool J was crazy the whole career.
I'm Bad was still hard as hell.
Jones,
he still came out. He would crush your motherfuckers.
LL Cool J, Jones, man.
Mama said knock you out. Like that's
man. When you gotta understand, when I'm Bad came out in the mid '80s, nothing like that ever came out. When he talking about, I'll take a muscle back. When he was bragging, everybody's like, "What? that motherfucking out bad video, man, his face in the sand." That
bad video was fucking crazy. Yo.
Hey,
so when he just jumped out like, His man was standing behind him.
Yes, that's iconic. That's the hip hop.
He was bad like a motherfucker.
That cat had so much energy, he was just jumping all over the damn place.
And his man was just standing in the back like this. Even the DJ, the DJ
hard.
The DJ was like just like crazy, yo. And then the DJ just standing like there until the part come in. Cool, check. That shit was crazy.
Yes, he's definitely like top 3 80s, no doubt. I mean, Cool J should be top 10, period, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't squeeze him into the 5 because we're going to put some lyrics.
You got to look the longevity, man.
Yeah, well, at one time he was lyrically ahead of his time too.
Man, these niggas would not be on that shit if it wasn't for Cool J.
No doubt. Yeah. First cat to be in the movies, first cat to go to TV shows. I mean, L Cool J really is slept on in that arena. He was that, first
cat to do.
First black dude to live through a horror movie to the end on that short joint.
Yeah, because Samuel Jackson sure hell didn't.
Nah, man, you can't.
Samuel Jackson sure hell didn't live
that's another topic.
No.
I'm just saying, Cool J is glossed over a lot when we talk about these type of lists.
He got all my respect, man. He made
word up.
First cat to really do 16s, like structured 16s. Because even before that, like Run DMC and all them, they had songs that were like 8 minutes long, verses they were going back and forth. But he was the first one to really do structured 16,
16,
verse,
16, 8,
yeah.
And even like after that shit, you talking about like all that acting shit, like with that show he had with the kids. I remember when he came back
in the house.
He had that tunnel shit with that DJ premiere that called my name.
Yeah, and he still was
that shit was crazy, yo.
L-Bomb, that's L-Bomb.
Yeah.
It was on the Funk Master Flex tape, yeah.
On the tunnel.
Yo, he was on stage like a week ago.
Okay.
I seen him a week ago on the internet on stage, and he was still in black leather. Like he looked fit and cool and young, and still had everything he still could do it, son.
Cool I went to that concert. I went to the concert that
you went to the
that concert they had on. Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Cool J,
still had the energy, up there doing it with the Roots. It was just crazy.
I saw your post when you was out there, but I mean, even shit like that whole Rock the Bell shit, like what he's doing with Sirius and like the show, like you don't even got to be doing that shit. He's doing that out of respect for the game, and that's incredible shit. Like, I mean, I even seen they had Noriega rapping at that Rock the Bell shit. Like they had Nori doing like a performance of like all his hits. I was like, this is crazy, yo. And that's after Nori was like he would never do another rap show, but he came out and did a show for Cool J for the Rock the Bell. This was crazy.
A partner of mine, he just got back from the Bahamas, and Rock the Bells. They've been doing things on cruise ships and on cruise stops, man. They got a lot of major names on there. It's like, yeah, Uncle L doing a lot. Ain't Cass lit. Your list got it live right quick.
That's my dream vacation would be like Rock the Bell's cruise, like.
Mm-hmm. And it's going down. I was like, wow, it's going down.
Yeah, man. So. And he's given a lot of the inventors, a lot of the pioneers, stake, like real business stake in Rock the Bells. Like they have a percentage of Rock the Bells.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about it is I think legally the whole point of when he started doing that shit was I think it was some white people that was doing like a Rock the Bells tour before, right? And he felt like they had stole the name and shit, and he kind of fought for it, but it was well worth it because his influence. You see all the special shit that he's able to do and all the people he's able to get on that tour. I mean, that tour gonna be legendary. I mean, that's gonna be legendary tour for a long time. I believe.
And as it should be, ain't no white folks should be able to run no goddamn Rock the Bell shit. That's his shit. That's hip hop. I'm glad.
Let's see this.
Well, let's flip it a little bit. What cats in the 80s was still really dominating the 90s?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of those people that to me, like
me to talk.
Rakim, G-Rap, Kane. Well, not so much Kane, but
not so much.
I want to say that we also should have said talk about Biz.
So, anyway,
hold up.
You told me I couldn't read Guru, but Stepping in the Arena was 1986. So they released some classic albums in 89.
No, it wasn't 86. They had their first. Never mind. Their first album was Nice Guy. That was like 89. Yeah.
Yeah.
About work.
Mr. Nice Guy, 89.
That was 90 something.
No,
Yeah,
that album's in the 80s.
Work was off a moment.
2 albums in the 80s.
No, they didn't.
Okay, about that.
They did one album in the 80s. There was no more Mr. Nice Guy.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of those people is like 90s niggas to me. Like I know Rakim from the Juice soundtrack, which you know that's
I
know the Ledge.
I know G Rap. I don't really know G Rap from the Juice Crew. I know G Rap from 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jones, what happened to
big
man?
kind of
good.
okay. You're nice. Now here's your mainstream way to blow up was 4, 5, 6 because albums that has blown up that they didn't expect to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
no, I feel what Kaz is saying because you know it's age wise. You know, you go by age. I was listening to D103, listening to I was hearing I Ain't No Joke, but then I was hearing Follow the Leader. I didn't realize that Eric B for President was the first album. I bought the second album.
oh shit,
it was the first.
Dougie Fresh. There were so many people in the 80s that were dope.
Yeah,
Shout out to Dougie Fresh.
Slick Rick, how we got
that
the 80s list without either one of them? That's kind of tough too.
Yeah, Slick Rick.
I mean, and that whole crew, like Dougie Fresh and him. I mean,
I don't know if I put Rob Bass. To me, he's like just the top one-hit wonder guy.
Hey man, that was my sixth grade dance joint.
The timeless one-hit wonder of all songs.
you think so? You think Joy Pump It Up was his only song?
It Takes Two is like, I mean, you play that anywhere to this day.
Oh yeah, well that's DJ Easy Rock though. That's the Easy Rock beat. That shit is dope.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, you throw on It Takes Two, and it's like it's timeless, man.
But when I think 80s rap, it's one of the first top 3 songs I think of.
Yeah, but I don't think top rappers if you only had one song that was really pop.
Yeah, I know that. But we cannot. I mean, not saying Slick Rick or Dougie Fresh.
That's Slick Rick. Crazy. We gotta say Slick Rick.
Children's Story was the first rap I learned. Everybody learned. I mean, a lot of people. That was the first rap I ever learned, and I did it at the lunch. I remember being in 4th grade, 71st Elementary, banging that shit out in 1985, 1986. Children's Story. Here we go. We knew every word.
I know Slick Rick from the album where the album called, I want to say it was called Storytelling, which was when he had like Raekwon on there.
The Outkast record. Yeah, the Art of Storytelling.
Well, no, I'm not saying Raekwon was on that. Oh, but I'm saying like now I can't remember the name of the Slick Rick album, but I remember he came to Paradise and he was like signing it, and it was the album that had the song with Raekwon called Frozen. It was Slick Rick. That's the Art of Storytelling. That's what I know Slick Rick from. But then I had to go back and do the knowledge of like you know the show and all that, and doing the knowledge, man. Like Dougie Fresh was life changer for me. That's that video him and the Get Fresh crew got on with that and
keep rising to the top.
Keep rising. That shit is
Give it on you got. Give it on you got.
That video
definitely the ultimate storyteller MC. You know, Slick Rick. Story for sure.
On some fly stuff, if you go back and look at that video, when Dougie gets out the limo, they show some real premium 80s Nikes. It's like you get a quick view.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't even, I don't know, you can find them joints, man. But you know, I love that video top to bottom. Man, I love that song top to bottom. Word up.
They was really fresh back then with the sweatsuits and the Nikes, the Valleys.
They was the Wallabies really fresh, right? The Wallabies, always with the Valleys and the Wallabies, yeah. And Slick Rick, you know, with the whole, you know, he's from England, right? But the whole fame way he delivered his lyrics. Yeah. And then he inspired Dana Dane, who copied, you know, the way he delivered, and
that's his boy. Well,
the story about Dana Dane is Slick Rick. He heard Slick Rick, but he was like, Slick Rick wasn't even using his deepest, like his real hard.
He was trying not to.
Yeah. So that's why Dana Dane used that style, because he was using wanted to use the accent a little bit more.
Nice.
I really want to know how Russell found Slick Rick, yo.
Wasn't Dougie Fresh that found him? He was Little Ricky.
He was the
hype man for Dougie Fresh
at the time. Nobody, you know, like
he was Dougie Fresh's hype man, Little Ricky. So I mean, it's definitely Dougie Fresh.
Even to this day, it's hard for international rappers to blow up in the U.S. market.
Well, he's from New York. He wasn't living in England.
Yeah, but he got
raised
that accent.
But he was raised here.
He got a real British accent.
Yeah, he got that accent.
He was on tour. Dougie Fresh.
He got that accent. He got that accent. They know, like, yo, that shit ain't from here.
Yeah.
And
That's an
he
interesting
still,
story.
he still just popped like crazy, man.
Anyway, we off the subject because you don't let us get off the subject, Mr. Meteor Man.
Nah, it's
Top
still
five
kind of on
MCs.
subject. 80s, 90s. We were talking about
Still
we was
on
gonna go into
80s.
the
Mr.
cats that
J,
were
you ain't
popping
gave
in
us
the
your top
90s.
five. I don't think Mr. J's gave us his top five.
Who is your top five, Mr. J?
Well, we had to start with some pioneers. Definitely Melly Mel,
See, he been waiting.
Busy Bee.
Chief Rocker.
Let's see. We'll probably still do LL. KRS-One.
The bridge is over.
So LL,
That's
KRS-One,
four.
Melly Mel,
Busy
Busy
B.
B.
What else you got?
We got
Who
one
else?
more.
Yeah.
We'll do Heavy D. We'll definitely do Heavy D.
Right.
Heavy D, the guy that got me into hip hop.
Well, let's remember also Ice-T was all through the 80s. Very early
yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah, Ice-T.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I don't like these fives. Just
4 or 5
Sorry.
successful albums. We forget the West Coast. You want to hear a story? I was in the Navy. I was 18, 1994, and I was over in Albania in a record shop. The only hip hop album they had was Colors. And I bought it.
Wow.
The only hip hop, American hip hop they had in the whole rack, and it was Ice-T, and I bought it.
Ice-T.
That sounds like Panama. We had one LL Cool J.
This is way over in the Eastern Bloc, baby. So we are sleeping on a couple cats out here.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And he also went on with the TV.
We were just contained to five. Yo, Ice-T is wild because Ice-T is crazy because when I started recognizing Ice-T, I go back and look. This dude was in Beat Street. He was in Beat.
Right?
Yeah.
Jones froze up.
Damn.
It's got some technical.
Jones got that.
He was in Beat Street for a short minute. If you go look at the Joe C. Love video for the Pee Wee Herman, this West Coast motherfucker was all over the East Coast somehow. Ice-T was just always somewhere.
He was
Let's do this.
All the documentaries from Beat Street, the Pimps Up, Hoes Down,
everything. He a real dude though. Hey, whoever called Ice-T on anything?
No.
Ice-T certified across the board.
I think we forgot a name.
Dude, he's
the Fat Boys, man.
Yeah,
I gotta know
the novelty act. That's a novelty act.
Whoa! They're not a novelty. The novelty came.
They were huge.
Baby, you're
for
a
the
rich
same
man.
reason I can't put the Beastie Boys on this list.
No, the Beasties always get it, man.
They're a niche.
Why you can't put the Beastie Boys on this list?
Because I think it's a niche kind of group, like it's an audience.
Beastie Boys. No.
I did like the movie.
Beastie Boys is one of the craziest.
I disagree.
One of the craziest rock.
They ain't no me or you without the Beastie Boys.
I love the Beastie Boys,
man.
You know,
they ain't no me.
Man, come on, man. Paul's Revere, everything, man. Them cats.
I didn't say. All I said was I can't put them on the top 5 list. The same reason I can't put the Beastie Boys, Fat Boys. You know, Fat Boys. I don't 2 albums and a movie. Or what? 2 albums and a movie?
Fat Boys was pop crossover hip hop guys, man. They were huge, dude.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think we would have Kid and Play if it wasn't for the Beastie Boys.
But
I don't think we would have a lot of this.
Kid and Play's another one.
80s.
That's another one.
They on the top 5 list. Now you're getting all the groups. Right. We naming all the groups.
No, but I'm just saying, like, they were big for the 80s.
Yeah,
I don't like the fives.
Jones started with groups anyways. He said Run DMC.
I'm saying, yeah, I mean, plenty of.
Okay.
We're not here. We're not here if there wasn't dozens and dozens of successful 80s artists.
Let's bring it back. What are your favorite solo rappers? What are your 5 solos from the 80s?
I said what my 5 solos.
No, not you. Not now. I'm going back to the host. Let's go.
My solos? Rakim, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, LL, and I said
KRS-One was in the group. He didn't drop his first solo record until the 90s.
Wow.
No.
But he was the only nigga really rapping.
No.
Don't let your ego get on you, bro. What
I got called out for was I brought up group. No, I got called out for bringing up group.
Well, you brought up like a dope ass group. Who did he say? He said like a real bona fide group. Like
he said Public Enemy and
Public Enemy.
Boogie Down Productions is a group.
Yeah, but they're looked upon. We only got the one.
Nah, all right,
was only on 4
All
out
all
of 4
right. Let me. All
Before
right,
we get
man.
too far, before we get too far, I wanted to go back to that point about
feel like that's
about
what you
Ice
want me
T.
to get back.
About Ice T.
Word.
Ice T was a part of you know,
Rhymes.
Africa Baby Bam, and he was a part of the Zulu Nation. Rhyme Syndicate was part of the Zulu Nation. So that's why he was, you know, his first album, Africa Baby Bam, produced the whole thing.
And you know who was under him then? Ice-T, a little protege named Everlast.
Yeah,
Everlast, yep.
He's part of Rhyme Syndicate.
Like, hey man, I'll take it. That dude, look what he's done. You know, that whole tree, right? It's dope, right?
That's
Yeah.
what you talking about. Everlast from like House of Pain.
Yep.
Yeah. He part of Rhyme
So was
Syndicate.
When I was young, I got Chino XL. Though. When I had my braids, I was rapping. Everybody said Chino XL.
You do look like Everlast shades right now. Yeah.
Hey, give me one of
Word
those.
up.
You look like
acoustic hits.
But with the braids, yeah,
He made millions on that shit.
YD4.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Millions and millions off 2 chords. Okay. This conversation.
All right, so cats from the 80s that were dominating the 90s. Who we got?
I don't see nobody like you said. No one in the 80s dominated other than
Only a certain amount of cats make it to the next day.
The late 80s people who were lyrical were also prominent.
Yeah, they make it to the top 90s.
Because in the 90s, you had that whole explosion of both the New York and the West Coast explosion. You had, I mean, it was all new artists. You had, you were talking about, ooh, now you get into that. They primed the best entire era of hip hop, 89 to 99.
Cats that made it to the 2000s?
Hold up.
Nas,
the 90s.
Nas.
Y'all lost me at the 2000s.
Right. I want to go back. I want to go back to the original question.
What?
Who made it from the 80s to the 90s?
Yeah, we didn't spend enough time on that, right?
Well,
Chris, like you said, Chris.
Well,
Rakim.
Yeah, Mr. Smith album sold like 8 or 9 million copies.
Cool J last year.
He sold like had 2 or 3 more albums that were platinum. He dominated.
You know what?
If you look at it from that perspective, from the 80s to the 90s.
Cool J's a relevant artist to me now.
He could. I bet you he could drop out in the morning and go to platinum. I guarantee he could still move units.
His latest album is supposed to be all produced by Q-Tip. That's the word.
Well, you know, Nas' last album I think was one of his best albums ever. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, the boys is. I think we're getting there to where you go see 40-something rappers crushing it. I mean, crushing it.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I think EPMD made a great transition from the 80s to the 90s.
They did.
Oh,
They
man,
did.
I love
They did.
EPMD
They did.
too, man.
Yes.
I love them.
Yes, they did.
Super loved EPMD, for real.
Yeah, that's a good one, Jones. They definitely made a good transition from the 80s to the 90s.
They also came to the Ville. I got respect for anybody that came to the Ville.
Rap, Karis one. Not a lot of cats though that really made it into the 90s super heavy when you get to the late 90s.
Like I said, just Nas.
Cool G definitely did. You know, LL was definitely popping in the 90s. Karis one was popping in the 90s. EPMD made it.
Yeah, because it was, when did Madism come out? Like 97?
Yeah.
That was a real hot record.
Dude, you know,
Ice-T still has some joints.
Ice-T, somewhat, yeah.
Cotton Miller was still a
Dr. Dre.
Hold on. What about Dr. Dre or Eazy-E?
Oh,
Dr. Dre,
Eazy-E.
okay. Yeah.
They was both
Ice Cube. Ice Cube. Huge in the 90s with like 3 straight platinum records, Lethal Injection.
Wow, how did we forget about Cube? Oh my goodness.
Like 3 straight. Yeah, so definitely Cube.
Cube was like, no. Oh, goodness.
Forget about Cube all the time. I don't know how we do.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Eazy-E. I think a lot of people downplay his success as like a business owner and a record label. I mean, he was one of the first selling millions of records, and from like JJ Fad to Bone Thugs and Harmony, everything he touched with, like, it was crazy.
Yeah, he signed he signed Black Eyed Peas.
That's right. Will I Am.
Yeah.
He signed Will I Am. That's right. That's right. They were on Death Row. Hey, by the way, he signed Hobson first, and there was another underground rapper He signed Hobson first to Death Row Records.
Did he?
His
I
wife
didn't know
after he
that.
died. His wife.
Ruthless.
Ruthless. That's right. Ruthless. That's
Word.
I'm sorry.
Hold up. Ruthless signed Hobson first?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, Ruthless was a real record label and early in the game.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
They had nothing but platinum artists. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
read
they,
the
and
story
they
about
robbed the
Black
hell
Eyed
out of
Peas.
everybody. They robbed everybody.
They pat them down like Debo.
They robbed everybody. What you got? What you got on my? What you got on my timeshare, motherfucker? What you got? Give me. What you sold some money on the road? Thank you.
And they said Tamika was doing a lot of them wrong. That wife.
Yeah, it was even worse.
No.
Very worse. Probably felt easier getting screwed over by Eazy-E than by
Oh my goodness. All right,
Well,
balls.
you know,
Balls.
Jerry Heller was still there, so you know.
He was the worst. The worst of the worst. He the Harvey Weinstein of hip hop. Jerry Heller. For real though, dog. Damn, hate
Yeah.
Who like that motherfucker?
Nobody.
A lot.
Nobody.
But to be honest, a lot of them have said they really respect them, like Ren and all them. They have said,
Yeah,
like,
man.
and they say taking real shit. Like he took a big chance on them before, like white people in the record business was taking a chance on people like that. They said they looked at him like a father figure because they were just kids and
They say
he really
Easy
brought
did.
them in the
But,
game and
but
did
that's how
something for
they
them
viewed it because they were. But he viewed it as exploitation. Look how much money I'm gonna make off these motherfuckers that don't even realize how much it's worth that what they're giving.
But even the label took a chance because the only act they had before that was the California Raisins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that was
The
big.
only
Though.
record they had was the California Raisins.
Don't sleep on the California raisins.
Hey, look, man.
I had to see on the dashboard of my whip.
Them Hardee's,
California Raisins.
Hardee's,
Get
that
shit with seven raisin biscuits, motherfucker.
Hey, yo, so you telling me, because the Temptations was doing the singing for the Raisins. I'm showing my age. So you telling me that Jerry Heller, by way of the California Raisins, also got some of the Temptations. This is some conspiracy shit going down right now. This is crazy.
Well, I don't know if Jerry Heller owned. I think it was the label that
label. Yeah, I'm just fucking around.
On the song.
Jerry was more like a freelance contract.
The goddamn California Raisins guaranteed they went platinum though.
No, they went gold.
Did it go gold?
They went gold though. Even back then,
wood in the hood. Everybody wanted the little shits. Everybody had the little
add the California Raisins to the 80s list.
No.
Right now.
California Raisins was official 80s shit though. They was big in the 80s.
They was
So
hitting.
Spud McKenzie, he ain't talking about hip hop.
Tone Loc hitting the 80s.
Hey,
yeah, he had a dope hit. He had a serious hit. A crossover hit.
Okay, I'm with it. Hey, yo, it's Tone Loc, man. You know what we do. We here live and direct from live at Fayettenam with Tone Loc.
But he's an official West Coast nigga.
He is like, come on, though, man. I look at him like Young MC, man. Like, what you say, a 2-hit wonder?
They was on the same
Young
label.
MC wrote for some people.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
They was on the same label.
And Sir Mix-a-Lot bigger than him to me.
Well,
he had a bigger record.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't look at it like that, because at that time, that was so early in hip hop. Shit, people hadn't made that many hip hop records yet. You know what I'm saying? You can't claim
came out. That was mid 80s. Wow. Tone Loc.
Yeah, like that's saying that was early in the game.
Early.
People didn't have a lot of hip hop records at that point, especially hit records that went crossover. So you had to respect it. You gotta respect that.
And I think Young MC wrote Wild Thing. Either one of them for him.
Were down. They were on the same label. They was both on Delicious Vinyl.
And they both both them singles had kind of like a rock and roll type of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They really were rock and roll.
That's when rock and roll was still kind of heavy in the hip hop sound too.
Yeah. And they both from Cali. It's a dope conversation, fellas.
So Young MC wrote.
Well, if you mention them, you got to mention Candyman too.
No, I'm not doing that.
So, only the Candyman can, like the heavyweight champion, knocking them out without a doubt. Come on, man. No encyclopedia.
I did expect the lyrics to come.
Put a quarter in, baby.
Oh man.
All right, I gotta take a smoke break, y'all. I'm sorry. Take a cigarette break, your mind.
It's not like we're going to stop you.
All right.
They got me straight here from work, like.
Oh man.
The camera angle over there, man.
What's that beeping?
I'm touching it.
No, when you keep moving from it like that. All right, good. Now I gotta move it now.
Hey, y'all got any recommendations? I'm stuck in the same loop when I'm listening to stuff. You know, I go back to familiar artists, whatnot.
Man, the people who like really make that kind of music that I really fuck with now is like a guy by the name of Rock Marciano. I like a lot. I like Mayhem Loren.
Oh yeah, dope.
I actually like Larry June a lot too. Like,
You know, he was out here. A couple of I had to work, but a couple of my people went to the show. The dude, he sold out the Ritz. He sold out the Ritz. I'm like, God damn.
Shit, I was there. I was there. I seen him.
Oh, you was there? Word.
About like earlier this year, right? Like 3-4 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Because I had actually I discovered that place, the Ritz, like a month before there. Nick Cannon was there, and Nick Cannon had a show where Nick Cannon brought out like a bunch of young rappers like Simba and
I like that. You do Simba.
Yeah, he like Nick Cannon managed all them niggas like Hitman Holla, and he brought all them out. And I went to that show, and like I said, I found out about the Ritz then.
Oh wow, okay.
I want to say all the people on the tours under Nick Cannon management, like a girl named Klondike Blondie. Like I said, if you go look at that show, he had a show like called like Next Rising Star, where he was taking like 12 like brand new artists, like and then like putting them out on tour. And I think he managed all of them, you know.
They sleep on that man's ear. They sleep on that man's ear and his talent, because he does a lot of production too.
Yeah, Nick Cannon, you know what he's doing, man, with the entertainment industry all together.
I think,
but I've been out to the Ritz when they had the 20th. I think it was the 20th anniversary of Paid in Full. That's when Rakim came out there. Yeah,
I got pictures. I was there. All right, I didn't know you then. Damn.
Yeah,
I would have.
And I actually had saw Larry June like maybe like a year before at the House of Blues.
Word.
Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
Word. Yeah.
I had originally bought a ticket. It was for Larry June and a guy named Primo Rice, because at that time I had just really started listening to Primo Rice, and I think he had ended up signing to the same like management and tour company as Larry June. So I bought a ticket for that, but that was right when the pandemic hit, and they kept like extended it, and they finally did the show like 2 years later. They did the show.
Man, you know what? I mean, at least for me, Kaz is talking about stuff that I think a lot of artists and just people like myself, I think about, you know, people be out here, you know, they talk online, they like, you know, ain't no room for the real, or what they call the real. But it's like, man, it's people that are listening to people, man. It's people doing what they can for some real good artists, man. And I like seeing it. And so, man, when my people, you know, when my friends, you know, they share some photos, and I know what the Ritz look like when it's packed, and it was like to the stage, to in the balcony. I was like, Larry Jones and sold out in Raleigh. Like, yeah,
that's the kind of career. That's the kind of career I want to set up for myself at this point. Like, I want to put out like music and like pretty much build like my own following, like, which I feel like Larry June is. I know those people not exactly like independent, like they have people backing them, but shit, I mean, if you can literally put your own music on Apple Music and to the point and get a fan base to the point where you get enough plays where you can do your own little shows, like, you know, like how like House of Blues is and how the Ritz is, like,
yeah,
I'd rather do the little intimate shows like the Ritz anyway. Like, I actually love the Ritz, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it remind me of House of Blues. I've been going to House of Blues for a long time, like Jersey and all that. But the Ritz is kind of like that. Like, you go in and like the standing room general admission is on the bottom, but you can spend an extra $50 and go upstairs. And it's like a lot flyer. You can literally just get a seat. It felt like you sit up there so close where like the stage is like 15 feet from you. Like, I like that House of Blues kind of flow type shit. I would love like a Larry June type career where, like I said, he got enough fan base where he could just really just do his own thing and got fan base that just loyal to him, that's just gonna show up to every standing room show that he's doing. He can sell out nonstop. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can I say it like this? It's like it's amazing that you're not even from the spot, but when you come to the spot, you getting treated like you went to high school and college up in this joint. It's like everybody coming out. It's like, yo, Larry here. Like,
he got a real fan base, yo. He got a real ass fan base. Yeah.
And I got a special love for the Ritz, man. That was I got to open up for the cat I look up to, man. That was our first out of town show. Well, we got to open up for KRS-One at the Ritz.
That's fire.
And the crowd was waiting for KRS-One, but you know, the older people, when we got off stage, they were like, "Yeah, little man, y'all did kind of good." And then, you know, KRS-One just tore it down. But the Ritz is good with me, man. Always been standing room only.
Yeah, I like places like that. The Ritz, House of Blues down in Myrtle Beach, the Cat's Cradle in Carborough, places
Cat's
like that.
Cradle.
Just is
Nice,
dope spots. You know what I mean? Poorhouse.
Any other topics we got, fellas? Any other topics?
We got something they got. Anybody got something?
Y'all got nothing?
I just want to go back to the female thing. You know, how do we feel about, you know, I posted it up on OK Player. There were some questions about, you know, there any females, you know, comment on it? You know what I'm saying? Did they have anything to say about it? How did y'all feel about, you know?
What did you post?
Just basically posted the you know, our questions about the state of female hip hop.
That shit crazy, man. That shit fucking crazy. Shout out to all the females. They literally got the game on lock. I mean, they making some wild ass music, but is it really that wild? They just
not as wild as the guys, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're just mainly sexual.
Yeah, they bringing it back to actually talking about partying and dancing, like they ain't talking about killing niggas.
Yeah.
And shout out to Sexy Red. Yo, Sexy Red is like the new school Gucci man. Sexy Red is the Gucci man right now. It's like, you know,
Julio Brown.
Yeah. They say it's not that color. They say in the video it wasn't that color in the video.
I doubt it's brown. I've been staring at a lot of them. Most of it. I think maybe some purple. I've seen some purple.
Probably got it bleached.
I've heard some Sexy Red music. The mix ain't crazy.
Bleaching their ass though. But Equal Girls got a little sazon on their shit.
Now,
my thing is,
no, I just want to say, as a real person, I gotta say, you know, that music is so fucking, you know, what's the word, debauchery or raunchy. I think it's gonna have so much. It's gonna have like a lot of negative effects.
It's short shelf life. It's short shelf life. Like 2 Live Crew. It was a meteor. I loved it too. It was so damn raunchy that I had to listen to it because my parents hated it. Right, but it has a short shelf life. It's not classic material. Like you're not gonna look back at any of this. None of this is gonna be classic material that's being made right now.
Just like 2 Live Crew moved the culture so much, but a lot of people can argue whether it was forward or not.
It's not classic music.
I was rocking 2 Live Crew right along in my mix. I was rocking Mama Said Knock You Out, and I was rocking, you know, fuck. Navarro,
Mama Bear and Pop Bear took for a walk in the forest. Yeah, Pop Bear asked Mama Bear would he eat her porridge. Shit.
So I can't look down on like the ladies for listening to like Sukihana, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
and another thing is every last one of them that comes out is super fucking popular.
Because why?
Yeah,
because the male-driven economy and males gonna spend money on it.
They got the game on lock. Right. Hip hop is pop culture right now. Like hip hop is pop culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the ladies like Lotto, my nigga, that last Doja Cat single that Walk On, that Paint the Town Red, that shit is crazy. But the ladies have it on lock, and it's not a lot of hate. The only hate that I see is, and this is subjective too, because she fuck a lot of people, but a lot of people feel like a lot of animosity coming from Nicki. But I mean, they all seem to really fuck with each other, unlike, you know, all the time the guys had it.
I think the complaints from the dudes. Dudes is the only ones complaining on the internet about the shit. They don't, whatever. But these same motherfuckers didn't have no problem with Uchi, Wally Wally, or any of the shit we did, which is crazy. That's not even getting to that shit. We've had way worse than anything Nicki or any of them ever do.
And you know, today is so different. It's like, because in my heart, I wanted to say, well, you know, I know about this one, that one, and that one, but I know about this one, that one, and that one, and they don't get played like the other ones. But it's such a different day. I know where to go to listen to what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Sexy Red. Her job is not to be.
Well, you're not trying to get played on 99 on the clock. That's not your goal anymore.
But I know where to go. I know where to buy a T-shirt. I know where to run up the streams. You know, on my favorite. So it's like, today is real different, man. Excuse me, man. I'm saying all of my 47. It's like one half of me want to complain, but then the other half of me know, like, man, motherfucker, type it in, click
go find it,
go to the show, bomb, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
it's
enough hot shit out there now. If you a fan of music and you looking for some music to find, you got all the old school shit, because even all that shit we talked about is pretty much cataloged on Spotify. But you can even find new shit. I mean, there's like you said, it's 800,000 hip hop songs that come out every day. You can find some shit you can listen to.
Yo,
you can find it.
I wanted y'all to do me a favor. This is totally off the subject we talking about that one. Everyone on this podcast, do me a favor, and in your next available opportunity, stream "Falling Off" by Up South 30. I want y'all to listen to this track, man, because it's crazy. It's got Cocaine Kev on it. It's banana. I just want y'all to take a moment and listen to "Falling Off" by Up South 30 and Cocaine Kev. It's just crazy, man.
Shout out to Up South 30. Rest in peace.
But in a related topic, should we have found some females?
You got the 30.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah,
the whole album got to be good at it, baby.
What's up, Jay?
I said, in a related topip, should we have found some females to talk about that discussion?
He was there. We the ones we gave it to. Sure, you know what I'm saying? Whole movement. By the way, sorry to say it, when he passed, man, that was the biggest I've ever seen a city respond. We did 2-3 shows in a week, set up by multiple cats. Shout out to everybody that was involved. But you know what I'm saying, packed the house 3 times, raised $13,000 between his family. Everybody had the big funeral with the horse-drawn carriage with all the Mass Hill walking behind him, which was amazing. But I'm gonna tell you, my biggest regret of that whole shit is this: I've known 30 since I was doing shows, and they was kids coming to my shows. That record, "Be Good or Be Good at It," that he released posthumously, is the best shit by far that he ever did. He did a lot of good shit with E-Dub. And it's bananas. If he would have been here to push that, I think that was the record. I think that was the record for him. But "Be Good to Be Good at It," by the way, everybody that's listening, go to where you get music and stream that whole album. It's crazy. Up South.
Shout out to E-Dub.
Shout out to the old Dark Side camp.
Yeah, peace to E-Dub.
Peace to E-Dub. He way out there in the middle of America, you know what I'm saying? They'll be checking in too, for real.
Yeah, I spoke to him recently.
Yeah, me too. He'll be checking in, Dubs. You know, especially just while we speak on it, Paul Masson, Big Face being white rappers from the Ville back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Dub was that next generation behind me. So I really paid attention to Dub, and I reached out to him early on. I reached out to him early on, and I always said he was like the
Keys.
Huh?
Low Keys?
Yeah,
Low Keys, yeah.
I like Keys. By the way, shout out to the blowing up with a wrestling career. Low Keys about to be on AEW, WWE, all that shit.
And he just got married like 2 days ago. Congratulations.
Love, Psycho Love. Hey, shout out to my man Merlin Woodward on my goddamn FB. We know him as Low Keys. Y'all know him as Fodder. Dude is like blowing up on the independent circuit with his old lady Psycho Love. She got a background in the big time wrestling, AEW, WWE, and all that. He's on his way, man. Y'all gonna see Low Keys on WWE. Another fabulous story, by the way. Yeah, I mean another. Yeah, definitely, man. Good for bringing that up.
And Keys was such a successful rapper. So I mean, I remember he had a joint like him. He had connected with French Montana, and he had a crazy record with French Montana. Like, yeah,
he was on a few cool ass Dark Side Camp records I heard back in the day too, and he was in some videos with them boys. So
they're gonna have some white MCs that
we had it down. We didn't embarrass us.
Wrestling is really interesting.
Mhm.
Because what I heard is like a lot of that had to do with like the labels,
Told him it was too.
like telling like I guess they was telling him like his weight or something, so he comes back and starts getting into weightlifting and gets passionate about that. Wins all the weightlifting competitions I seen him in.
Yep.
And next thing you know, I look, I see
Him and G Money won the tag title
like,
for Ring Wars 2 years ago.
Like,
Low Keys and G Money.
Journey,
Low Keys and G Money win the tag title. I love that. I held those belts in the DJ booth with. Shout out to G Money, man.
Yeah, G Money. That's
man in radio.
Hey,
that's my guy. Him and Crack, they graduated the year before.
Since y'all on the topic, I remember being 104.5. Peace to Vic Frost.
Yeah, no doubt.
I remember Vic was hosting the Friday night battles, and the winner, the champion had to win like I think like 3 weeks in a row, something like that. Low Keys took everybody out. He took everybody. I was there. When he won the final battle.
I was the dude. Remember when we did that? I was doing the whole rules. Remember, I was like, all right, no written raps. I came on to do the rules because we won so many times. Me and Jones, basically, we lived there for 2 years. We won like 10 weeks in a row. Then they had us up there. Then we co-hosted. So, by the way, shout out to the Shockwave era, which was huge for everybody. Shout out to Vic and everybody involved in that. But Low Keys back to sales. Yo, I'm super impressed by what he's done transitioning from fucking because he's a big deal what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
He's a big fucking deal, y'all.
And like I said, he was successful rap too. Like he was physically fit. Like I think
he said he was too skinny. Come on, man.
No, I mean I'm talking about like fit, like lyrically fit.
He was fit. Yeah, he could rap. He
had probably modeled a lot of that off of Lloyd Banks, but Keys was a spitter, yo.
He can rap. There ain't no question about that.
You can understand him more than Lloyd Banks.
Yeah.
Like his voice didn't. Lloyd Banks' voice is so raspy sometimes.
I love Lloyd Banks.
And to see a white boy spitting punchlines like that was crazy to me.
But Mr. J, get back to what you were saying though about I think you're talking about
to the ladies.
Well, no, my thing was, we got a question, about did any females participate in the discussion? I was like, well, the question was, should we have searched out some females to kind of participate in the discussion to kind of get their point of view, or
I got one.
Local females.
Well, we got Lady Rain, we got A-Game. I mean, we got come on, man. The list is pretty long there. You got some dope females.
Video I see today.
I feel where Jay coming from.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, we probably should have. I mean, if we're going to, we're gonna have to do a whole nother pod and bring in a female like some Shelly D or something like that.
Shelly D, yeah. Shout out to Shelly D. I ain't seen her in a hot minute. Dope.
That's the first name that just came to my mind.
Well, she was the first lady of the Rhapsody in North Carolina to us, our era, of course. Shelly D was blowing up all. So I was opening shows in Raleigh with.
If we know somebody who could pull Rhapsody, I mean.
No. I would rather have a local voice. I'd rather have I'd rather have a voice. Rhapsody's probably in Singapore.
I got some names in my head. They from the Ville too. Yeah. I ain't gonna say their name right now because I don't want to embarrass them. They might be like, "Nah, I can't do it."
Because you forgot the motherfucker. That's why.
Nah, man. I didn't forget. I didn't forget to show up tonight, so I'm 1 up. I'm good.
Hey, well, you was actually, man, you was on 0 for 2 in this bitch. You was looking at the third base coach like, hey, should I just take the wide?
The first one was official. There was a Virgo birthday going down. I had to attend. The second one, yeah.
You had Parmesan back to drinking Parmesan. That's what you had. Yeah. But we only drink the Dizzle up in this bitch, and that's what we want to tell you. We only drink Dizzle brand, a premium liqueur.
Yo, that was a nice segue, my brother. That was a nice segue. Got nothing else we can
say about these females. We're probably gonna wrap this episode up, fellas.
I'm good.
Well, just a aside too, because it was talking about females. There's one female they never mentioned, from North Carolina. She used to be down with the Deadly Venoms. That's Entice, and she was out of Winston-Salem. So
okay,
way back. You went way back.
Yeah, go listen to the joint. The video was still dope too.
I know who you're talking about. Yo,
this right here, it's no delay here because even as he talking, like I'm literally hearing it as he's saying it.
Yeah.
So why was it so much delay last week? Was that because no headphones?
No headphones.
Okay, but like leaving right now, like as he said this shit, I can hear it as he's saying it.
Yeah,
Word.
definitely.
So this
No
shit
headphones. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, fellas, we're gonna wrap it up and call it an episode.
All right.
And yo, Face, Big Cats, Paul Masson, man. Mr.
Shout
J,
out.
much love, y'all.
Mr. Jones and me walking through the barrio. That's the single y'all never heard.
Walking through Strickland Bridge Road, my friend.